Alright, quick update on green Satoshi token. So, what is happening? Because yesterday, while we were live streaming, we literally just had a 1 hour candle that rode us from 87 cent all the way up to $1.94. We had a 122% pump in the span of 1 hour. All of this volume came in for green Satoshi token, and we talked about this yesterday during the live stream. But if we zoom out to the 4 hour, you can see we are still channeling to the downside, and this big blow off top wick that we had, I mean, you come over to the 4 hour and it very much looks like a blow off top to me. Go over to the daily and this wick is just it's outrageous, honestly. So with this wick, if we go over to the daily, to be honest, you can see that it perfectly came into the 13 EMA, which is a short-term moving average, which is great at telling you when you're in uptrends or downtrends whether you are still going to be moving to the downside. So for example, if you're in an uptrend and you snap below the 13 EMA, you can see uptrend was perfectly supported by it. You snap below it at $5.60 and you massively landslide. The last time we came up to touch this, we touched it and got rejected at around about $2.90. And now the most recent time that we've come up to touch it was $1.94, $1.95. So we've clearly fallen from grace since the last time we have touched this. And you can see that it was not a bullish sign when we initially came up, tagged this, and then fell to lower prices. So hopefully green Satoshi token is able to hold itself up. Hopefully we can start moving back up to the upside of this channel, but we have a lot of resistance overhead. Like I've already said, you know, $2, it's going to be converging down, so $1.90, $1.95 in the next couple of hours or so. But this 13 EMA, this is the price to beat. We need to start pushing above $2. We need to get above this invalidation point, because you can see, even if we do something like this, we just have, you know, tons and tons of lower highs within this market structure. So we're still moving to the downside, don't get it twisted. We have had a pretty nice pump, but this is where we need to see continuation in volume coming. We are starting to see a tiny bit of volume coming in for green Satoshi token. We're really faking out the squeeze one. We're flipping between bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, and it looks like now is probably the time where we're probably going to have a big move. Like I said, the market cap for green Satoshi token, at least over on Solana, is sitting at around about 65 million. So it's really nothing for this to just ping to the upside if it does get a good setup. But what would we need to see to have that setup? That's what I want to talk about now, because there are some targets that I think we definitely need to get above before we can, you know, even talk about, are we going to be breaking macro bullish again? So like I said, the most macro moon line that we need to get above before you can consider that we'd be macro bullish and that we have bottom is this 13 EMA. $1.93 at this period in time is where we need to get above. And yeah, I know we're sitting at $1 right now, so I'm basically saying we have to almost do a 2x. We have to go up 92% for us to break macro bullish again. But bear in mind, this is what you're dealing with when you are in these low market cap coins. I mean, let's take it back, you know, a week or so. We're down 60% in the past week. Like, these coins can clearly move very fast. I mean, like I said, an hourly candle drove us up 120%, and we did have a massive amount of volume coming in for this. But this, like I said, we need to see continuation now. So your first target, this would be the 2.618, $1.49. Let's call it $1.50. $1.50. If you broke above 150, let's zoom out for a second. We're obviously in price discovery to the downside right now, so that kind of sucks. You know, I'll just highlight it quickly. If we put this in an inverse scale, so let's pretend this is a different cryptocurrency. Let's say this was the previous all-time high, you broke down, found support on the 13 EMA, and now, you know, this was the previous all-time high, you flip the all-time high, and now you're in price discovery to the upside. So the direction is still to the upside, and bear in mind, this is the inverse chart. Bless me again, hay fever season. But yeah, this is the price target to beat. The 1.618 micro term, or sorry, the 2.618 micro term, $1.50. If we do have a break above there, and I don't mean a wick like we saw here up to $2, I mean we need to start seeing multiple 4 hourly candle body closes. So if we were on the 4 hour, what you'd need to see is within the next, let's say, 8 to 12 hours, we'd want to move up, we'd want to flip this, we'd want to backtest $1.50, and then you'd want to start to move up, and you would want to flip this EMA ribbon at some point. This is going to be converging down pretty fast. It is a pretty short-term moving average. So $2.50 flip. If we do break above $2.50, this is where you want to start getting ready for a potential trade. And then if you do flip these EMA ribbons, oh, sorry, if you do flip the 13 EMA, somewhere around about here, around about $1.90 to $2, that is where the potential trade could be coming in for Green Satoshi token. Until that happens, I do still think that we should expect lower price targets. As I always say, the trend is your friend until the end. Look at this objectively on the 4-hourly EMAs. I mean, if we zoom out, since when we flipped bearish at $6, look at this. Ever since we've been in a downtrend, EMA ribbons, every breakdown, we come into the EMA ribbons. And then, you know, I'm going to have to pan out a little bit to the side, but coming down to here, 4-hourly EMA ribbons are what defines the downtrend. Every time we move down, we come into these EMA ribbons and then we move down again. So the EMA ribbons are also going to be a major level of support, and you're not out the clear on those until $1.65. So like I said, let's get above 150 to start with. Let's start putting in 4-hourly candle body closes, you know, 8-hourly candle body closes, and then we want to see daily candle body closes pushing above these EMA ribbons round about 160 and moving up to this 13 EMA that is going to be converging down to about $1.90 within the next 24 hours or so. Those are the price targets to beat for Green Satoshi token. Bear in mind, we are having an alright pump on the daily, but looking at the Bitcoin dominance is still breaking out like there is no tomorrow. So I would be very cautious trading altcoins right now. If you've been watching my past couple of videos, you know that I've been saying, while Bitcoin is in this bearish phase, this is the time for me to accumulate Bitcoin, and I'm focusing much more on Bitcoin than altcoins. That being said, Bitcoin did come back down into this pattern. It held the 618 and it held the 13 EMA. So hopefully if Bitcoin is able to push back above 30,600, 30,700 and have a big push, this is going to give Green Satoshi token enough momentum to break out of the $2 mark. And then if we do break out, we can start moving up to $2.68. We can start moving back up to $3.70. These are the macro price targets that we need to keep our eyes on. But until we move above 150, we should still expect lower price targets. Trend is your friend until the end. Like I said, I'll be giving you an update on this. I will be live streaming later, so hopefully we have some price action on Green Satoshi token to cover for later on. That is all I've got for you. My macro price targets on this are still unchanged. I still think coming down to 58 cent, potentially down to 50 cent is a likely area of support for Green Satoshi token. That's about 50% drop from where we are now. I've been talking about this for quite some period of time now, so I still do expect that to plan out, but like I said, we should still expect lower price targets until we're proven wrong. The trend is your friend right now, and the trend is bearish. So until we get above these EMAs, until we break 150 at the 2.618, until we get above $2, then nothing else to talk about. So all I've got for you today, as always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.